RVBN, The Rich Video Blog Network, home to weekly NFL predictions, great personality profiles, great professional wrestling video blogs, great sports video blogs, great MBTA video blogs, and other great stuff. Collection of my work goes back to June of 2014 on various social media websites. RVBN, the only video blog on the internet that matters. Time now is 5:45 in the afternoon, Billerica, Massachusetts. It's Friday, April 7, 2017. Second video blog of the day, Child World, the former toy store in the United States. But before I go there, some news to report on the RVBN Newswire. The Boston Red Sox will not go 162-0. They lost to the Detroit Tigers today by a score of 6-5. You can't win them all. And the United States of America added 98,000 jobs in March. That's a lot of jobs, but still, there could be more jobs. A lot of people can't seem to find any type of work, and they're dropping out of the workforce completely. Stop looking for a job completely, which is not good. No job is going to knock on your door. I don't know how people survive without a job. Maybe they have a good spouse, or maybe they get something, but we can't speculate on that. And that's about it on the news from the RVBN Newswire. Be back in a flash with my second video blog of the day. Tonight's weather is going to be a mix of clouds and clear skies, maybe some rain showers, and about 42. Tomorrow, it's going to be mix and sun and clouds close to 50. Next week, warm up. Good news. I'm back. My second video blog subject of the day is about the former retail toy store, Child World. Child World was open from 1970 through 1992, and at one time was the second largest toy store in the United States of America behind Toys R Us. Background of Child World: it was founded in 1970 by Joseph Anasino, and it was founded in Avon, Massachusetts. And it was a toy store that showed toys, dolls, board games, eventually in the late 70s, early 80s, electronics and video games. And Child World was growing very slow the first few years. It picked up speed when they acquired Children's Place in 1975, and they became, by the late 70s, early 1980s, the second largest toy store in the United States behind Toys R Us. Many of the Child World locations were near Toys R Us. It was basically in New England, but there was some in New York and a couple of other states. At its peak, Child World had 182 stores, and its annual profits were $830 million. And in 1981, Joseph Anasino, who owned the store and founded the store, sold it to Cole National, and they ran the store. And many of the Child World stores were shaped outside like a castle. And they had a mascot, two of them. First one was a cartoon rabbit called Happy Rabbit in the 70s. And it had a t-shirt, "I'm happy," on the shirt. But the most famous Child World mascot was from 1979 through when it closed in 1992, Peter Panda. And Child World was growing and growing and growing into the late 1980s. They actually had a Child World video catalog in 1990 during Christmas seasons to show what was being sold for the Christmas holiday season. But at that time, Child World was going through a lot of financial problems due to the U.S. recession, a lack of must-have toys in the late 80s and early 1990s. Video games were, getting to be popular with Nintendo and Sega, but they weren't as big as PlayStation or Xbox because they was not invented yet. Plus, they had they fired CEO and many of the board of directors during this time period, and they defaulted on their creditors, which is not good at all when you default to creditors, because once you default to creditors, they won't send you the supply and they'll sue you. And Child World had a lot of lawsuits because of being not paid, the creditors not getting paid. And they started to close stores down for Child World in 1991, and several times during the Christmas season in late 1991, Child World almost went out of business, but they got a temporary line of credit which would have lasted them into the first quarter of 1994. Cole National tried to sell Child World many times, and they had a deal to sell it to Lionel Kiddo City, which was a competitor of them, which was also struggling. And they did that in the spring of 1992, but the company filed for Chapter 11 around May of 1992, and many Child World stores closed down. The deal fell apart in July 1st, 1992, and then Child World had no choice to file for Chapter 7, and within a few weeks, all the merchandise of Child World was liquidated and sold off, and all the stores closed forever. And what's ironic, Lionel Kiddo City was also struggling as well. They went out of business 1 year later, so even if Child World got sold to Lionel Kiddo City, probably would have been out of business. And I went to a couple of Child Worlds, one in Medford and one in Chelmsford, I remember. And they were a decent kids store in my humble opinion. They weren't going to overtake Toys R Us, but they had a good selection of toys. Bought a few video games from there with Nintendo. Wish they could have stuck around a few more years, but those things happen. I loved Peter Panda. And that's about it on Child World. I'll be back with the third and final video blog on that, which will be about the WWE Tag Team, former WWE Tag Team, the Blackjacks / New Blackjacks. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Penny guy, Marley Rose Blood, WCCO, left hands, nice legs. Elizabeth Hot, so stunning, she's fast, Amy Sweezy, awesome, Amy. Lynn Church of WPI, Sean Love, New York, Rocky Cougar, Special Legs, New York City, Banan, Bobby Gibbs of ABC 11, had sweet southern accent, Best Legs in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Len Cliff, WHC Channel 7, Boston, is the best legs in Boston. Bye.